Hi witches, welcome back to Pagan Pathways with Jessica for another one of my videos. Today's video is a VR on the Oracle of Glitter, and I know you might have already seen some, so just bear with me and let's go ahead and talk about this. His video is on a spiritual and emotional bypassing. He says love and light has become toxic. It just is. So here's my perspective on this, okay? And I do have some notes in front of me because I wanted to make sure I tried to hit on all of the points that I thought was important. So let's talk about the spiritual and emotional bypassing that I think he's talking about. And let's skip the love and light sentences until the end. So he says that people who believe that love and light, or that you only look through the lens of love and light, is he said it's an issue to only look through the lens of love and light. He says if you do that, then you're a spiritual Karen. He says it destroys the experiences of other people. He says everything in life is a journey and there are twists and turns, and this is a direct quote, and bends everywhere. And nobody's life is perfect. And when you degrade people by saying, I only focus on positivity, I only follow this love and light toxicity with some explicitives I am going to skip. He says, you negate every other experience that happens in life. How do we realize how blessed we are if we don't have the moments of lows? Okay, and then he goes on to bring up abuse and trauma. He said love and light mentality is a way of pushing those experiences aside, a way to shut someone down. All right. Whew. So these are some very passionate and powerful statements. And as I was watching the video, I was like, what the hell? I'm just being honest, like I couldn't understand. Well, then somebody had told me he had lost a child, and I went back and I checked and I did verify that is true. So I think he is trying to come from a good place in this, but he is wrapped up in his own pain. I'm really sorry for your loss. I mean, I am. I lost a child. It's been just a little over 3 years this month. This is a difficult month for me. And it is the most horrendous thing a parent can go through or feel. So with that said, I can understand some of what he's saying on one hand. But I don't think that love and light and trying to look through the lens of positivity is any of the things he said. I will tell you that you could take every trauma I've ever had in my entire life, every bad thing, every bad word, just all of it, roll it all into one. And the pain of that does not touch the pain of what it's like to lose a child. So, but living a life of positivity does not diminish the pain that I've went through, that he's going through, or that any other person is going through. I really believe that we have to do what is necessary to get through the next day. Doesn't mean I don't still feel emotion. And sometimes I am completely fine and I don't have a bad day or a bad week or any of that, and I can talk about my son or what's happened very easily. But today, over the last couple weeks, it's been extremely excruciatingly difficult. But every day I get up and I am grateful for all the good things in my life, and I strive to be positive. If we focus on the difficult things all the time and we continue to just keep wallowing in whatever it is that's happened to us, things are still going to be hell for us. We have to try to live a life of positivity just to get through those terrible moments. Does that mean that we are trying to bypass, as he put it, the spiritual and emotional things? Absolutely not. But I can tell you, just from my personal experience, that if I was to continue to only focus on what I've lost, I would not be able to get out of bed. I would not be able to function. I deal with this loss in a much different way. I surround myself with people who love and care about me and can understand, who, okay, let's just take my son's death date was July 15th. That day I did have a little bit of a break, but I didn't. I woke up in the morning and I was trying to just think about all of the good things that happened with my child and all the good memories I had of him, and be grateful that I had the 19 years I did have with him. And then the text messages and the emails and the messages over Facebook and my son's friends coming to me, and because it's really difficult for them because he was 19 and everybody was so young. So sometimes these boys who had been in my son's life forever don't still know how to cope with the loss, but they were sending me videos and pictures and asking. Every year we try to get together and do something. In one year we did a balloon release. One year we did the lighted lanterns. One year we just went to our state park and went to the beach and stuff like that. So, I mean, anyway, so we try to do, this is so difficult. Maybe I shouldn't do this video. Let me just, this is hard, but okay, so through all of our pain, no matter what it is we're experiencing, if we don't focus on our positive aspects and try to live our life as normally as possible, then I don't think we would be able to get up and breathe. So, I don't think I'm doing a very good job with this video. Talk about a little bit of emotional turmoil. Okay, so I'm going to try to skip over all the rambling I did before and get right to my point, because I feel like I was trying to make a point and then all of a sudden all of my emotions hit me. And that does happen if you are dealing with some kind of trauma in your life, and losing a child is a trauma, same as any other trauma. You know, okay. So let's just go back over this. He said, you negate every other experience that happens in life. How do we realize how blessed we are? The love and light mentality is a way of pushing those experiences aside and a way to shut somebody down. Okay, listen. I don't think anybody who lives a life of love and light or of positivity is trying to do any of those things. I don't think that it is a spiritual and emotional bypassing. It is a way to cope and continue on living life when you have experienced something so traumatic that you legit don't want to get out of bed in the morning. You you do have to find a way to work through those issues, but on a daily basis, to get up in the morning and be grateful for what you do have or what is currently going on in your life is a way to try to overcome the obstacle that trauma is. I hope that makes sense. And I think at this point for myself, I need to move forward and what else I wanted to say, because I feel like every time that I try to talk about this, I get super emotional. It is just one of those weeks. And I do have bad days. Sometimes I have bad weeks. But for the most part, I just keep pushing myself to move forward and find a new way to deal with or cope with what has happened that has caused me the trauma. And I think that when people are talking about they want to focus only on the positivity or the love and light, that is exactly what they're trying to do. I don't find that to be toxic. I find that to be incredibly smart and brave. With that said, I just want to tell you one more time, if you view this video, I am very sorry for your loss, and I can completely understand the darkness that is wrapped around your heart, because I have felt it and I've had to fight through it. So I will personally say, if you ever want to talk or you're ever feeling some kind of way, you are free to message me and I will give you my phone number. Now, let's move on. He talks about love and light being toxic on social medias because people are using it as almost the same as the FU of bless your heart that they do in the Southern. I have seen that. I do know it exists, but I will just say this. We can never control somebody's actions or reactions. We can only control our own actions and reactions. And if you allow somebody over the internet who you don't know, who you're probably never going to talk to again, who you don't care about or respect, to bother you, that is a you issue, not somebody else's. Love and light isn't meant to be toxic, and if people are using it in a toxic way, that is on them and that is their responsibility. The only thing that you need to do is continue on with your day and not let it bother you. So, let's see. He says, don't use love and light to manipulate people into questioning themselves, because he's talking about in an instance where you might be on a social media group or something like that, and they're telling you that you're wrong because of this, and at the end of it, they throw in a love and light. Again, it's the same as the condescending stuff. But I will say this, if you are manipulated into doubting yourself or doubting your beliefs, then that is also a you issue, not the other person who's saying it. Now, I'm not saying the other person is innocent, but the way that you take something or react to something is a you issue. So we are 100% responsible for the way we do things. How something evolves makes a difference on how it should be used. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. 9 out of 10. It's a 9 out of 10. Sometimes somebody uses that. It's a microaggression. Understand words have meaning and power. They represent something. I don't see it quite as high as he does at 9 out of 10. It's a microaggression. I definitely don't agree with that. Like I said, I do agree that people are doing that, but then again, the responsibility is on us of how we take it and what we leave the conversation with. So I guess that's about it, and that's enough for a big ass emotional video. I'm really sorry, but I hope that I at least have cleared some things up about how just living a life of positivity and living in love and light is not toxic, and why people use that as a means to cope in their own lives. This is just my perspective. I will talk to you witches soon. Have a very blessed weekend.